From the top to the bottom, at the top I stop. At the core, I forgot. In the middle of my thought.
What's good, YouTube? Yo, boy 21 here, bringing guys another episode of Cars to Keep / Cars to Sell. And then on today's episode, I'm going to tell you about everything you should be keeping / selling before the set next challenge is released, because, or stuff you should be collecting upon, because when next challenge is released, stuff is going to go up, stuff is going to go down, and some stuff right now you can make some pretty decent pennies off of if you push them right now. I'm just going to get straight to the point and start off by saying Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is the #1 card you should be holding on to right now. Especially if you're one of the players who likes to play the best deck in the format, because right now Qliphort is looking to be one of those tier 1.5 to tier 1 decks based on OCG results alone. Now granted, you also have your Shaddoll deck up there matching it, but at the same time, from OCG results, Qliphort has that Qliphort Healer card that basically says all special monsters lose 500 attack, and you can he just pushes shit in by eating cards. He does so much. He's like a true Egyptian god. Damn neck hurts. I'm sorry. Came from the gym. I think my neck is kind of strained. So by holding on to Odd Eyes, it's basically the engine of the deck, because Odd Eyes is pretty much a searcher for any. I like to think it's the staple card for any and every pendulum based deck to come out. So holding out the Odd Eyes right now for the Qliphort is really good, and you probably sell them when the deck is released, because right now Odd Eyes is sitting at 25 for the secrets. I think 20, 25 for the ultis. Guarantee you by the time the deck is released, you can get rid of those cards for at least 40 to 50, maybe even 60, based on how good the deck it is and based on the rarity alone. So yeah, keep on to Odd Eyes, guys. Next up, since we're on the topic of Qliphort, I'm going to talk about Vocosaurus and Guy the Charger. You want to hold on to those cards as well, because from looking at OCG builds online, they do run rank 5 engines, which involve Vocosaurus and the Guy the Charger to go over to Vocosaurus for the OTK. So from taking a look at some of the monsters in the deck, a lot of them are level 5. So when you pendulum summon, let's say spaz out 3 of those guys to the field and you don't have an Odd Eyes, you can make an instant Vocosaurus, pop a card, and then Guy Charger for game. So make sure you hold on to your Guy Chargers and Vocosaurus for now, especially planning on playing that deck, because those cards will go up in price. They're about 11 to 15 right now. They might jump up to 10 to 15 to 20 based on, once again, how good a deck is when it's released. So if you have Guy Chargers, if you have Vocosaurus, hold on to them. If you don't get them, look for them, if you're a type of person who wants to build up a strong trade binder for the next following format. Obviously, the Shaddoll stuff, I would say hold on to it if you're going to play the deck, but if you're not going to play the deck, just sell it. The stuff is at a pretty decent penny where you can make easy profit right now. Windows 30s, constructs are 20, 25. There's no really reason to keep that stuff for that deck, especially if you're not going to play it. Now, granted, I would say this: if you're trying to build a deck, get it now, because once again, based on OCG results alone, the deck is retarded. Like almost every deck in Japan was topping with Shaddolls, and some people may argue, oh, it's because of Star Seraphs. Well, I'll argue that Shaddolls get more fusions next set, and that makes Super probably more viable, because all the fusions are just like how the hero fusions are, which is pretty much a Super poly for each element. So hold on to Shaddoll stuff if you're going to play the deck. If not, sell it, make a decent penny. It might go up next set, but I don't see Window getting past 30. Maybe 40, if depending on how the deck is, if it becomes tier 0 or not. But since Qliphort will be another good deck to fight it, and there are always going to be anti-meta decks, I think the deck will be a pretty decent penny, holding off at, I want to say, the selling mark. Next up, I'm gonna say Time Space Trap Hole, because Time Space Trap Hole is one of those cards that it's gonna get better as pendulums get better, and since the Qliphorts are coming out in the next set, they are the most powerful pendulum archetype to date. Well, they are the first pendulum archetype to date, so that is really consistent with what they're doing, spamming out monsters from the hand. So I believe, honestly, Time Space Trap Hole is a decent answer to the deck, because Even if you do use destruction effects like turn to tribute against them, they're all gonna go back to the extra deck, and then on your opponent's following turn, it's just gonna pendulum some of them back from the extra deck to the field again, and just basically jizz all over your face. No pun intended. So right now, time space are currently going for 15. I suggest you pick up a few of them because I rather get the card now when it's 15 than getting rid of 50 to 60, and everyone's gonna try to be digging and bitching about why the card is so expensive. So collect time spaces and sit on them for a while, guys. Next up, also I'm gonna say you guys should be holding on to Massacre Restricts and Evilswarms. So far there's currently two versions. Well, the reason why you're gonna keep on to Massacre Restrict is because of Qliphort. Make sure the killer don't come out. That's one of the main things you want to make sure of. And you also want to hold on to the Evilswarm deck for Ouroboros because that's pretty much an instant out to the Qliphort deck. It's also an instant out to the Shaddoll deck, and it's a decent contender for a lot of decks. It is a rank 4 base deck, so a toolbox is just as good as gadgets, mate, if not better. So Evilswarms gets better as far as the formats come with more decks that are based around high attack monsters. They are honestly the best anti-meta deck you can choose. That's good for a budget. So I will hold on to Evilswarm just in case some pro player tops with the deck because you guys already know once somebody that's considered good with top of that deck, or hell, even if a rogue player at this point top of the deck, prices will go up, which I can see happening. I can see happening with the way the upcoming format is shaping out to seem to be. Now, mainly the cards you guys will want to sell because I don't feel like they'll be useful in the upcoming formats. I'm gonna say sell Satellarknights, and this is going based on OCG results because Satellarknights pretty much don't do shit once Shaddolls get their full support. And it's like if you're a competitive player that likes to play the best deck, why play Satellite when you can play Shaddoll or Qliphort? So I believe by that base alone, Satellarknights will go down lower than what they already are. I think the Nevs are still high. So to get rid of the Nevs now, and if you like to play the deck, I'll say get rid of all that stuff now too because once Qliphorts, Shaddolls get the rest of their support, and those become the two best decks in the format, that deck is gonna go down, and you guys, it's gonna be good for you guys, easier for you guys to pick that stuff up, unless Konami and release an TCG exclusive. Then you guys are gonna be pretty much pissed because the deck will go up. But things like that you really just can't predict. So you're better off just getting rid of the stuff now while it's at a decent price and while the nets are at an all-time high to make some easy money, and then pick it back up once Qliphorts and Shaddolls just shit on over the deck because I've seen what Qliphorts can do on Lithium's channel. Video will be in the description below, and they just pretty much wreck everything, but except Shaddolls because based on OCG results, once again, Shaddolls this is neck and neck with Qliphorts and Shaddolls. And I'm going to go through the last few cards pretty quick because there's not that many of them. Say, sell your Vanity's Emptiness. Now, I'm planning on keeping my Vanity's Emptiness, but this is mainly for the people who don't really go to events like that and don't plan on going to any events anytime soon until like summer or whatever. I say, wow, Emptiness is at an all-time high. This is the perfect time to sell it and make some free money. Like Qliphort said, like the card is one of those highly anticipated cards that is bound to get a reprint. I mean, you guys got to realize Konami do know what we want. They have that girl Julia that is constantly in the Zodiac Duelist. I'm pretty sure feeding them feedback, and all kind of players who probably secretly work for them to feed them feedback as well. And with that, and they have an R&D department and all the pro players. They give them tips and advice, and etc. It tells them what's hot and what's good and what's not. So Emptiness will get the reprint eventually. When will it get the reprint? I don't know. Based on how Konami works, when stuff gets reprints, the deck usually gets bad. A good example of that would be something I can't think of right now, but usually from my experience with card games in general, when something gets reprinted, that means it's not as good as it used to be. So I'm assuming when as Vanity's Emptiness plays start going down, that's when they get the reprint. So if you're just a player who just plays casually at locals from time to time and may go to regionals here and there, I'm pretty sure you guys can survive without an Emptiness unless you one of those super highly competitive people like I am, then hold on to it. And last but not least, Treacherous Triple Nightmare. Currently sitting at like $6 to $8. I say this is a card that you should definitely get rid of because once Time Space Trap Hole gets released, well, it's already released. Once the Qliphort deck gets released in the next format, that card is going to be pretty much 100% dated at this point because the Qliphort deck is just a big old spam deck from the hand, and Time Space is going to return a lot of them back to the main deck instead of the Pendulum deck, so they can't spam out of you once again and can put you in a pretty good position. So, with all that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let's shoot for 20 likes this time. Comment down in the comment section below if you guys think I missed out on some cards you guys should be picking up, holding on to. And also comment down in the comment section below what decks you guys plan on playing for next format, because I'm really interested in seeing what everyone plan on playing. You guys can play Shaddoll, you can play Qliphort, you can play Mermails. You guys already know what I'm playing. I'm playing gadgets, but I want to hear from you guys and see what you guys are playing and what's going on up here. So let me know. So yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Have a good night, guys. Deuces. Bang.